I'm Kysha Hancock in Piqua, where one man is hospitalized with burns after this home behind me on Covington Avenue exploded, then caught fire. You can see the home is in ruins, and now the state fire marshal's office is investigating what happened. I'm Kysha Hancock in Miamisburg, and I'm standing right in the middle of the new Deer Valley community, which will soon have nearly 200 new homes. I spoke to Chris Fine about growth and development in the area and what this means for the city of Miamisburg. State Route 49 remains a top crash site for Darke County, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol is reminding drivers of the importance of staying alert and driving safe, especially in rural areas. OSHP shares what you can do not only to save your life, but to save the lives of others. One family is still trying to pick up the pieces after their home was destroyed in a fire early this morning. I'm Kysha Hancock on Edmund Street in Dayton, where you can still see the aftermath of the fire. The family tells me this whole situation is devastating. The National Recreation and Park Association recognizes July as Parks and Recreation Month. I'm Kysha Hancock in Kettering, where I caught up with the city about how they're bringing communities of all ages together this month and all summer long. I'm Kysha Hancock in Tip City, where a homicide investigation is underway after a local coach was killed during a burglary early Monday morning. Yes, Gwen, you're absolutely right. It is freezing cold. So right now we're actually at a Shell gas station. We're not too far from the station. So the drive down actually wasn't too bad. And I'm just going to step out of the way so that you all can see the roads. So we do have just a few cars still traveling on the road. Now there was some snow plows driving through earlier and stopping at the gas station. They were able to clear the roads, but since it's still coming down, the roads did get covered again. After the deadly shooting of a Minneapolis woman by an ICE agent, protests against ICE have broke out nationwide, including in the city of Dayton. I'm Kysha Hancock at Courthouse Square, where protesters came together to make their voices heard. Today marks the one-year anniversary of an assassination attempt on the then presidential candidate Donald Trump. It happened at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, revealing some major holes in the strategy of the U.S. Secret Service and a new stage in the presidential campaign. Here's national correspondent Christine Frizzell. The Montgomery County Board of County Commissioners plans to transform this 115-year-old building behind me. I'm Kysha Hancock at Memorial Hall. I caught up with the county administrator about this transformation and why now was a good time. It's back to school season, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office is urging drivers to pay extra attention on the road, especially around school buses. I caught up with the office about state traffic laws and how to keep yourself and local children safe. An emotional night for families who attended the 35th annual homicide victim memorial service. I'm Kysha Hancock at Westminster Presbyterian Church, where the service was held, and families hang ornaments on a special memorial tree to keep their loved ones' memories alive. Gwen, that's right. Earlier, we already went over that Beaver Creek City Schools has a renewal emergency levy on the ballot that'll help them to maintain services that they provide for students and families. So things like transportation, health services, and also student support services. Now, Superintendent Paul Otten tells me that this won't raise taxes, but there is a 12.5% rollback that the state pays. But if it fails, residents could be responsible for paying that rollback. It's been a year since Gettysburg Grocery opened its doors, and since that day it's had a huge impact on the community, eliminating food insecurity. I'm Kysha Hancock, and I caught up with the store about how it's helping residents and how it's working to keep the impact long-lasting. William Brock, the 83-year-old Clark County man who was found guilty of killing Uber delivery driver Lolitha Hall back in 2024, was sentenced to 21 years to life in prison. The Clark County prosecutor says he's hoping this will bring some comfort to Hall's family. A community staple now in ruins, the steeple of this century-old church collapsing Thursday evening.
When we arrived, we had fire running across the whole top of the church, of the roof. I'll make it more later. We dispatched, we had first alarm coming right away. We asked for a second alarm.
Chief Joe Hardings with the Chickasaw Volunteer Fire Department tells me the call came in just a little after 2:30 p.m. Thursday. He says construction crews were working on putting new shingles on the roof when they saw white smoke coming from the building.
We sent a crew in. We sent them up to the upstairs. They got up to the top. At that point, I believe what they said was the ceiling was starting to collapse a little bit. they couldn't get very far up there.
Harding says they asked for several tankers plus an extra hand from surrounding counties to help put out the flames. No one was hurt as the church was empty during the fire, but there is a priest house next door and those inside got out okay. St. John the Baptist Church has been part of the Maria Stein community for nearly 130 years. According to the county auditor website, it was built in 1897. But Harding says age doesn't necessarily play a huge factor in how at risk a building is for burning.
We haven't had any issues here. I've been on the department for quite some time. I haven't had any bigger problem with these kind of buildings.
Fire crews now working to investigate what caused this fire. Archbishop Robert Casey with the Archdiocese of Cincinnati reacting to the damage on Facebook. He says in part, quote, "I am confident that the faith of this community remains strong. Please know that I am holding each of you in prayer during this time of sorrow and loss." Chief Harding says the Ohio State Fire Marshal will be assisting in this investigation. As we learn more, we'll keep you updated on air and online at Dayton247now.com. One Miami Valley family experiencing a full circle moment Friday afternoon, taking their twin premature daughters home for good. I caught up with their dad about why this moment is so special, especially for him.
To walk in and say, hey, I took care of him. Now they're taking care of my kids.
Brandon Creekbaum says he was overwhelmed with emotion holding both of his daughters, Lila and Iris, preparing to take them home from Miami Valley Hospital after spending a few weeks in the NICU as they were born prematurely at 32 weeks.
It's a journey of a lifetime. I mean, you know, you always feel things growing up, you know, how they saved your life and how now I can kind of see, you know, with my own kids.
What makes this moment so special for Brandon is in 1991, he was also born prematurely at 24 weeks at Miami Valley Hospital and spent time fighting for his own life in the same NICU as Lila and Iris. And the nurses who cared for him also cared for his daughters.
I never thought in my career that this would happen, this situation would happen. When they said that it was Marcia Bronner's primary, she was his primary nurse, I immediately knew it was Brandon Creekbaum. It's one of those names that we that are still here will never forget. Back when Brandon was born, 24-week gestation babies didn't survive very often, and he did and has a beautiful family.
Brandon says he'll always be thankful to those nurses for doing everything they could to keep him and his daughters healthy. And now he wants his family to help others going through this to keep hope alive.
If I can be an inspire to them, you know, especially to help them and, you know, just to see, hey, there is a premature and baby that did make it.
Scan the QR code on your screen to Dayton247now.com, where we have more family photos from the hospital posted on our website.
This administration has asked us to, as American people in the world, to put up with an enormous amount of stuff, and I think we've had enough.
After the shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good sparked national attention, cities across the nation began holding protests against ICE agents, and here in Dayton, protesters marched from Courthouse Square to City Hall and other parts of the city expressing their disappointment in the incident.
I'm really upset that ICE and Homeland Security are disappearing people off of our streets illegally with no recourse, and I am upset that they are going after law-abiding citizens.
Alec Johnson is a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation, the group who organized Thursday's protest. Johnson tells me after learning of the incident, he couldn't just stand by. Instead, he wanted to demand change. He says Renee Good could have been anyone.
This is not what we should be doing. This is moving 180 degrees in the wrong direction. But I think the one silver lining that can come out of this is that if we, the people, really start getting on the streets, really start making pressure, things can happen.
Erin McKenzie was one of several protesters downtown. She says she's seen the impacts of this in her own communities and plans to keep speaking out until she sees change.
There have been impacts in Dayton. There have been impacts in Springfield and in Cincinnati. I think that we want our leaders to rein in the illegal behavior that ICE and Homeland Security are perpetrating in our neighborhoods and our communities.
We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest. Scan the QR code on your screen. That'll take you to our Dayton 24/7 Now website where you can stay updated.